CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Nanaimo RCMP are investigating a stabbing on Friday night at the King Arthur's Court apartment complex. Just before 7, police arrived to find a female suffering from non-life-threatening stab wounds. Officers arrested a female at the scene who was released from custody shortly after.
Actually, I was just outside and heard a scream and kind of walked down the street a little bit to check it out, and next thing you know, there was just cop cars, 4 or 5 of them.
Investigators are asking anyone with any information into this stabbing to call Nanaimo RCMP or call Crime Stoppers. The 28-year-old cyclist who was struck by a vehicle while riding his bike Friday night has died. The man was not wearing a helmet, and police say he was intoxicated at the time of the crash. He was also wearing dark clothing. Police say cyclists need to take proper precaution when heading out onto dark, wet roads. Dark and wet were exactly what the conditions were like last night up and down Vancouver Island. In Port Alberni, wet roads likely played a role in a motor vehicle accident that sent 2 people to hospital. BC ambulance was called to the scene of a crash on Highway 4 just east of Port Alberni near Cameron Lake. The incident happened around 2:15, shutting down traffic. By late afternoon, traffic was down to 1 alternating lane as crews continued to work to pull the cars from the scene. 1 person was airlifted to Victoria Hospital in critical condition. Another person was taken by ground to Nanaimo. Police continue to investigate the cause of the crash. The toddler known as Baby Molly continues to fight for a second time against cancer. As we told you earlier this month, Molly Campbell has relapsed. The leukemia, it's back, and that has spurred another round of amazing support by the community. With Molly and her family in Vancouver, friends are doing what they can from Vancouver Island. Early this morning, the bottles began pouring into the Oakland's community center as a team of supporters, including our very own Louise Hartland, worked to sort through the donations. Friends say currently Molly is out of the hospital.
Friday, she had some more chemo injected into her spine, but she has a long road ahead. I think they're supposed to be in Vancouver for another year.
The hope is the bottle drive will help the family with the cost of living in Vancouver. If you'd like to help out Baby Molly and her family, you can by going to www.molly-campbell.com. The life of Amanda Todd, the 15-year-old who came to the world's attention after killing herself, was celebrated today in Coquitlam. During the celebration of life service, Todd's family, friends, and Canadians across the country had an opportunity to pay a tribute to Amanda's time on earth. Amanda's mother and her brother opened the service by lighting candles. A short poem and a song was then performed by Coquitlam singer Cole Armour. A song inspired by a classmate who Cole says was also bullied. The entire service was streamed live on ctvnews.ca. The widow of former NDP and opposition leader Jack Layton, Olivia Chow, spent the day in Victoria. The NDP MP spent the morning at NDP headquarters as Murray Rankin's team gears up for the upcoming by-election. Advanced polls are open, but most voters will cast the ballot in person 1 week tomorrow. Chow says she's in town to meet with Mayor Fortin and support his push for more funding for transit and infrastructure. She also wants to support Rankin while she's here, who she believes will help the party win during the next federal election.
We are ready. Well, let me put it this way. The Canadians deserve a better government, and they deserve a new Democrats in power in 2015.
Chow also spent part of her day meeting with Victoria's cycling community to hear concerns over the need for a national cycling plan. Vancouver Island University has received 72-hour notice from the Canadian Union of Public Employees, CUPE Local 1858, for a potential labor action which could begin as early as this Tuesday. Both VIU and CUPE say they remain committed to resolving this collective bargaining process with no or minimal disruption to students. An update is expected to come sometime tomorrow. It wasn't hockey night in Canada, but bars on Vancouver Island finally had a Saturday night to look forward to. You might not like it, but last night's UFC fight delivered to some local bars what the NHL hasn't supplied in 63 days. That's a Saturday night profit. Boston Pizza in Nanaimo was packed to the brim with UFC fans excited to watch Canadian Georges St. Pierre return to the octagon, I should say. Saturday nights are typically reserved for hockey fans, but with the lockout moving into day number 63, weekends have been quieter than usual. Some bars are reporting losses of upwards of $10,000 a week.
It's been tough for all the restaurant industry with the cancellation of the games and sporting events. An event like this it's probably the biggest thing happening in Nanaimo tonight, and we're trying to take advantage of it in every way we can. It's fantastic for the restaurants and the people that are able to show it here in Nanaimo. God, we got to get NHL back. Everybody's feeling it. I mean, we're a sports bar. It's critical, that type of activities for the lifeline of the operations.
And if you were wondering, St. Pierre won the bout. As far as the lockout goes, the NHL and the NHL Players Association are expected to return to the bargaining table tomorrow in New York. Well, what do you do when there's no hockey to watch? Of course, you stay busy and you work out. Hockey or not, that's what professional bodybuilder Jay Cutler would be doing, and that's what he was doing today at Club Phoenix Gym in downtown Victoria. Cutler is a four-time Mr. Olympia champion. That's the top title for bodybuilding in the world. Currently, he's on tour, passing on what he's learned over 2 decades of lifting weights.
What I'm trying to teach these guys is really what it took for me to get to where I'm at. Obviously, I've had 21 years experience in bodybuilding, weight training. So what I'm trying to teach these guys is the road to get a better body.
Cutler is on a 2-month tour, currently promoting his new workout supplements. Last night, the Victoria Hospitals Foundation hosted its 22nd Visions Gala, with proceeds this year going towards new medicine cabinets.
The juror. Can't get into any of the jurors except for this one.
The new state-of-the-art medicine cabinets will help nurses keep track and avoid any dispensing issues. The foundation hopes to buy 9 new cabinets in total. Last night marked the 22nd year of the gala, and our very own Astrid Braunschmidt was the MC. The foundation hopes to raise roughly $500,000. And before the gala, Victoria's annual kickoff to Christmas, the 20th edition of the Island Farm Santa's Light Parade. The parade drew thousands of people into the downtown core. Despite some rain earlier in the day, it stayed relatively dry for St. Nick's big entrance. Earlier in the evening, they flipped a switch in Centennial Square to light up the downtown with bulbs and colors of Christmas. Following the parade, a long lineup formed outside Victoria's newest addition this year. That's the massive Ferris wheel, which will be spinning until 8 o'clock. If you miss it, don't worry, it will also be open next weekend.